Hey dolls, what's up? It's me, Miss Quiet, your favorite baddie on a budget. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I'm Miss Quiet, and you can make yourself at home, okay? There are drinks, my fridge. Come put your coats on my bed. Get comfortable, because today I'm going to be telling you guys about my experiences of anorexia, binge eating disorder, and how I overcame really bad body dysmorphia, okay? So, let's get started. My lips are dry too. Everything's dry. Love it for me. I'm sick to my stomach, but my mouth is just dry. Literally sick. Oh my gosh, if that had fallen, I would have cried because it would have been done. Real fast, we're gonna get started. A couple things. The first thing is just an apology in case you see black in my hairline or whatever. My real hair is sticking out. This wig is really just popped on my head again. Didn't have time to glue it down. I'm running behind. Also, feel free to follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you want at Miss Quiet. Feel free. No pressure. Yeah, no pressure. But if you want to, you're totally welcome. Like I always say, you're very, very welcome. Don't ever want there to be any confusion about that. And if you like this hair, I just did a hair review on this hair and it was $31, guys. I got it off divatrust.com. This is a Janet Collection wig and it's synthetic. And guys, I am in love. Okay, so go check that out if you're interested in where I got this from. But other than that, I think we can just get right into the video. All right, dolls, so we're gonna start with growing up. I remember growing up, as soon as I got to like 11 or 12, somewhere in that age range, like the prepubescent area. I don't even know what that word means for sure. I'm pretty sure it means teen though. But anyway, as soon as I got to that age, I remember having a new insecurity every year. Like it was my main insecurity. So one year it was my birthmark. This is when I was younger. I have a birthmark on my thigh. It's literally just a tiny black perfect circle. Like it's very black. It's a very perfect circle. It looks cute. It honestly looks like a little period. But I remember that being such a big insecurity to me that I would only wear swimsuits that had shorts with them. So like, you know, back in the day, I'll just put a picture of them like here. This is the type of swimsuit I'm talking about. I would only wear swimsuits like that. I would never be caught dead with this tiny little birthmark that nobody will notice or care about, and there's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. Everyone has birthmarks and moles. Nobody gives a crap. But I remember I used to hate it. I used to hate it. I don't know why. I just felt so embarrassed. I felt so embarrassed. And then the year after that, I think it was, you guys, anyone heard of keratosis pilaris, chicken skin? I have that on my legs real bad, so it just looks like permanent goosebumps. But I remember being so embarrassed and humiliated with that I hated my legs that next year, and I didn't ever want them to be seen. Didn't want to go to the beach, didn't want anyone to see them, just because I was so embarrassed. But once again, it just looks like goosebumps and nobody's looking at me, and I was really young, and who cares? And nobody would notice, but I was so fixated on them for some reason. And then the year after that, I thought my shoulders were so ridiculously broad and I hated them. I thought I looked like a man. I hated my shoulders so freaking much, and that was the insecurity for that year. And then the year after that, oh my gosh, honestly this is still a very small insecurity of mine, but I don't really care anymore. Basically my back has a weird curve. So my back curves inward down here, but then it curves, I don't know if you can tell here, it curves back out. Let me just show you the shape. Here's my bum, and it goes in and then out like that. And I remember when I was going to my homeschool Yule Ball, we had this little prom-like thing themed off of a Harry Potter ball, and I was going dress shopping with my friends, and they were both really skinny. They both had very like slender feminine bodies too, and then here was me like this, you know. And I was so sad because we went to Windsor and we were dress shopping, and they were all like trying on these beautiful dresses, and they looked so pretty, and I couldn't even go out of my dressing room because I couldn't get any of the dresses to zip up. And I felt like it was because I was fat, but really it's because of the way that my back is curved that makes dresses hate me. I really have a hard time zipping up dresses, like any dress. But I remember hating that and thinking that my back was the worst thing ever, and that it single-handedly ruined my body and it ruined my appearance, you know. Throughout all these years, this was always a huge insecurity for me, like along with the other ones, is my torso. I always felt like my torso was too square, just too square. I literally would call myself a brick all the time. I would constantly hate on my torso. I was fixated on it all the time. I would like talk about myself like out loud to others, and I'd be like, yeah, they'd take a picture like, you look so cute. I'd be like, I look like a brick. You need to quit. Don't even lie to me. I look like a freaking brick. I'll never look like a woman. I look like a brick. I mean, I could show you guys my torso if you want. But yeah, I mean, it's not gonna ruin me or anything, but it's not like an hourglass torso, and I hated that. I hated that so much. So when I was like 14, I kind of became anorexic. I know exactly what triggered it, and that was a thigh gap. I wanted a thigh gap so bad. I was so worried about obtaining a thigh gap, and also I started tracking my calories on MyFitnessPal, and that was also what like really made it take off with the anorexia. I couldn't like live with my body anymore, and so I started working out all the time. I lived on a farmhouse and I was homeschooled, so I had a lot of free time. So So, I mean, I was out in the middle of nowhere, so I would just run to the railroad tracks and back. And I hate running, but I would do it every day anyway. I don't know how I did that, because I could not do that now. I could not go and run every day. That's how you know I was committed, because I'm not a committed person like that. Like, I cannot. I hate working out. I hate running. I hate it. But I was able to run every day, half a mile each way. I just remember always working out and never feeling like I had results ever. And I also remember my parents always telling me, like, you don't eat, like, blah blah blah, like telling me like why you're not eating, or like just like saying things about it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I eat. I definitely eat. And I don't remember how long this lasted. I always felt like I never looked any different, and I didn't ever actually realize I was anorexic until it was gone. This is really weird. The way that I stopped being anorexic was one night. It was my little brother's birthday, so the family was going to Orange Leaf. I wanted to go to Orange Leaf. I wanted Orange Leaf. And this will honestly, this probably goes into my binge eating disorder. We're gonna get there. But I wanted Orange Leaf, so I went with them and I had it, and then I was never anorexic again. Literally never anorexic again. After that, I was fine. I was absolutely fine. That's ridiculous, first of all, but I'm gonna explain why now. So we're gonna go to my binge eating story. So basically, I used to be allergic to corn, eggs, peanuts, and peas. And corn is in everything. Everything that's like we Americans eat, at least. Like a burger from McDonald's, or what do you think? Like even like a fried chicken or a donut. All of it has corn in it, and it would make me really bloated. I get stomach aches all the time, and I'd be really moody. So I got used to it. I think I got diagnosed at 4 because I didn't grow from the ages of 2 to 4 because my parents didn't know that I was allergic, and it stunted my growth. So I didn't go or gain any weight. So I could have been taller than this, first of all, but I tried not to dwell on that. I was allergic to corn, and I was like the food police because I didn't want to feel like garbage, you know. So I made sure that I wasn't eating any corn growing up, even like, and I was little, but I cared. I was like I really was caring about my diet. First of all, I would like to harness that energy again someday, but I really did give a crap. I really cared, and I did my best to not eat corn whatsoever. So one day when I was like 8 or 9, somewhere between 7 and 9, I was at my Nana's house, and she gave me a real Pop-Tart. And guys, I'll tell you what, this changed everything. Literally everything. After that, I was addicted to Pop-Tarts. I would steal them at nighttime from my Nana's pantry, and like she'd catch me with the wrappers, and I would make up these excuses. I'd be like, I was making a dress out of the packaging. She knows. I can't believe I got away with that. She was just probably like, whatever. After that point, I was never worried about my diet again. All I cared about was eating Pop-Tarts. All I cared about was eating Pop-Tarts. At age 10, I tested out all 4 allergies actually. So I could eat a box of Pop-Tarts in one sitting easily. Like a small box, I could eat that in one sitting easily. A little bit harder, I could eat an entire box, like the value, like the bigger ones, like the ones that are this wide. I could eat that in one sitting too, but I would just be in more pain afterwards. For my 16th birthday, I got like 5 big boxes of Pop-Tarts. They're all stacked in a pyramid. I told you guys this in my last video, but on my graduation, graduation open house, guys, I had a Pop-Tart bar, and I literally had $117 worth of Pop-Tarts, and that was like the main event of my graduation open house. There was like a whole week straight where I didn't really eat anything but Pop-Tarts, guys, and it's bad. I'm talking like 5 packages a day and stuff like that. At one point in time, I had chronic migraines, and I got put on this medicine called amitriptyline to prevent them, because I was literally getting like 3 migraines a day, and it made me super duper hungry, raised my appetite so much. So I would eat McDonald's every day. I'd go to McDonald's and I would get 2 cheeseburgers, nuggets, a medium fry, a drink, 2 apple pies. It was a big fat order, guys. I know it's kind of funny in hindsight now because I moved past it, but it was really bad. And when I was on this medicine, guys, this is the worst part. I would go to Dollar General, sorry, huge difference, because that's not $1. So I would go to Dollar General, and I would get a box of honey buns, and I would get a box of Pop-Tarts, blueberry Pop-Tarts. They'd be like this big. I would eat all 6 honey buns in the box, and then I would eat at least like 2 or however many Pop-Tarts I could before I got a migraine. They would literally give me a migraine because it's so much sugar. So much sugar. Oh my gosh. The weird thing is for me is that when I go cold turkey off sugar for like 3 or 4 days, I'm good and I don't need it again. My binging disorder is definitely mild right now because I'm on Vyvanse, and that really has helped so freaking much, so much. It's for ADHD, but it suppresses my mood, my appetite. I don't eat enough probably until it wears off, but it definitely helps me a lot. Gotta say, my anorexia is gone, far gone, but my binge eating disorder isn't gone, and it's probably not just gonna go away like that. Like, I'm gonna have to find a specialized therapist for binge eating disorder and work on that. But until then, like, I'm doing okay. So I had real bad body dysmorphia, real bad binge eating disorder, and I had anorexia at some point in time. But the anorexia, I didn't even know I had it until I was looking in hindsight. My elbows look sharp, like I was thin. So now let's talk about how I overcame my body dysmorphia, guys, because I was looking in my mirror yesterday, and I was just looking at my body, and I was just like, wow. It feels really, 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 really nice, and I'm really, really, really grateful that I get to experience what it's like to look at my body and be happy You know, it feels really nice that I can look at my body now, like even naked, and not be disgusted. It's really like, I'm really honored. I want you guys to know that you can do that too. You don't have to live like this. You don't have to hate yourself. You just have to be willing to change, okay? So let's talk about how I did it. It kind of started with the realization that me sitting in the mirror all the time, talking down to myself about my body, putting myself down wasn't gonna make my torso go in. It wasn't gonna get better because of that. Yeah, I kind of just realized this is not helping though. Like, I know that this is a big habit of mine. I've been doing this for so long, but it's not actually changing anything. So maybe we should try something else, you know? Because you gotta think, at a certain point, you're not happy with the way you're living, then you have to change things. It doesn't just stop. You don't just like suddenly get a free pass. It's up to you to change your circumstances. So I decided that rather than sitting in the mirror all day talking down about myself and making comments about my body, I would stop looking at my torso in general. I wouldn't even dwell on it. I would focus on other things. And I would focus on parts of my body that I like. Like, I like my nose, and I like my eyes, and I like my... I don't know, I'm not gonna brag about myself right now. But anyway, you know, yeah, focus on what you do like about yourself and appreciate that rather than shitting on what you don't like. It's the same thing as like worrying about what you do have in life rather than worrying about what you don't have and what other people have. It's the same general concept, you know. On top of that, stop talking out loud, stop shooting yourself down, and stop crapping on your body out loud. Don't let other people hear you say things like that. You're putting that energy out into the world too, first of all. And also you're projecting your insecurity so other people see you as insecure, and that's just not good, because we can make another video about that, but insecurity is gonna hold you back. It's really, the insecurity is the insecurity and negativity are freaking best friends, and they hate us. They're mean, and they are not here to help, but they act like they are. They creep in and they present themselves as rational. They act like that is right, like that is the proper way to think, that's the proper thought, etc. And it's not. So don't let them take control of you. Stop announcing your negative views on yourself, first of all. Don't say that stuff out loud. Do not make comments about your body out loud anymore, whether you're alone or with other people. If somebody compliments you, just take it. Do not let your mind take away from the joy that that person gave you because somebody went out of their way to compliment you. They thought that something about you was so nice that they had to tell you, a stranger, and risk getting embarrassed or rejected, you know, or like anything like that. Like, your mind might immediately be like, nope, like, you know. That's damn near how some of our minds operate when people give us compliments. You have to learn how to accept them though, and take them. Like, honestly accept them. Don't just say thank you, but learn to like appreciate it, because if people are saying nice things about you, they're not making it up unless it's someone you know is obviously fake, you know. But that's usually not the case. For what? Like, what are they getting from that if they're just lying, you know? And even if it helps, write it down, write that down, write down compliments people give you and go back over them and look at them. Don't take those things with a grain of salt. But yeah, all of this comes from within. It's mainly a mindset change. You want to focus on the good. I heard this somewhere, I can't remember where, but it really resonated with me. We spend all this time idolizing one body type that is so very rare. That's all we do, instead of appreciating all the different body types there are to appreciate. Why do we not appreciate all of the body types? The bodies are art, first of all. Every body is beautiful in its own way. The reason that we all idolize one body type is because of the media. First of all, the media is not your friend, which I'm gonna tell you that. And you should learn about media literacy so you can become aware of what's going on around you, and you can become immune to the influence of the media, because it influences you a lot more than you probably think it does. And that's why you feel like you're not pretty, because you want to have that specific body type, because the media has convinced us that that body type is the one that you want to have. So you will buy products based on the idea that those products will give you that body type. And I'm gonna tell you this too, at least in America, I don't know about other countries, but in America, most of these companies, stores, restaurants, businesses, medicines, everything, they don't really care about your best interest. Everybody just wants to make a buck off of you. You're gonna realize that more and more. Everyone wants to just make a buck off you here. So you need to be aware of that, because that can help you a lot, like navigating life and whatnot. But yeah, learn to appreciate all kinds of bodies and not just that one. Appreciate like the body type that you have. Your body is unique and it's just as beautiful. Just because it's not portrayed, that's not your fault. That's the media's, they let us down, honestly. So yeah, be aware of the media's effect on your self-esteem, and be aware of why that's the case. There's no evidence of right or wrong in our lives whatsoever. We've decided what is right and what is wrong, but there's no proof to what's right and what's wrong. And I don't know, just variety is the spice of life. So please do not stress about your body type. And also, if you're worried about men not wanting you because your body is not the perfect body, I can't speak for men because I don't really understand men that well, but I will say I don't care. I kind of had to learn that men aren't focused on your torso. They're not focused on your chicken skin or anything. They're just focused on the fact that they get to appreciate a girl's body. They're just probably honestly happy that they even get to see you naked or see you or even touch you or anything. Like, honestly, they're just just worried about butts and boobs. And even if you don't have boobs, like big boobs, it doesn't matter. Beauty is also subjective. So body dysmorphia kind of comes from the idea that you want to be perfect. We want to be perfect. We all want to be perfect, of course. Perfect isn't real. Perfect is literally a myth. If there's no such thing as perfect, then why do we keep entertaining that idea? Why do we keep acting like we can achieve that? I don't know why. Even I still kind of try to act like I could achieve perfection physically, but I can't. I literally will never be able to because it doesn't exist. And honestly, when you think about it, what is perfect? What is perfect? Beauty is subjective, and everyone's opinion of what is beautiful and what is perfect is different. It's not real. It's all a concept made to honestly make us feel like we're less than. So just start thinking about like never mind, that's a big word, can't do it. But just start thinking about stuff like that. Start thinking about the bigger picture. It's more to life than just what meets the eye. A lot more than you'll ever honestly be able to like grasp. When you reach the point where you recognize that you're trying too hard to achieve perfection, you need to remind yourself that that's not attainable, and just do your best. Just do your best. Also, if you really are worried about your body, work out. But don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. Work out all of your body and eat right. So I think that you could achieve perfection if you do this and that you'll be happy when you're skinny. I always thought that I would just be so happy once I was skinny, and I'm skinny now. It's not gonna fix my other problems. Same with like money. People think they'll be happy when they have money, but then you still have other problems in life. Not everything is related to things. Like, I'll be happier, I won't have to worry about that anymore, but I'm not going to be free of all of my problems. And you're not ever going to be free of problems, because life is not about having happiness. Happiness is not a state of being. Happiness is a feeling that comes and goes just like the rest. You'll never be like consistently happy. So do not think that your appearance can make you consistently happy for the rest of your life, okay? Because that's just not the case. We just have to be realistic. To accept life as it is, you have to know what's really going on. The thing that really helped me like get to a nice healthy weight in general, my roommate told me about blind weight. So because whenever I went to the doctor, I would always get weighed, you know, when you get weighed for the for a checkup or anything. I would see my weight has gone down, and I'd be like, oh, okay, I've not been this weight in a long time. So I want to maintain that, and then I would start going on my way to maintain it, and then I would have another binge eating relapse. Just ask your doctor when they weigh you, say, can I get a blind weight? And you don't have to see it. And guys, I have not had a really bad binge eating relapse related to weight since then. I have had some sugar addictions where I've just went overboard, but I've not had any binge relapses since I started getting blind weights, okay? So that has really been a big help for me. Like, I didn't expect it to be a huge help, but it has helped me so much. I do not weigh myself anymore. I do not weigh myself. I focus on how I look and not the number, because the number is honestly meaningless. We give it so much context, but it can't define you and how whether or not you're big or not, because everyone's body is different and your weight is distributed differently. And my legs are really muscular, so some of that weight goes into there. But then if I was to get my BMI calculated, it might tell me that I'm overweight because of my legs being muscular, so I weigh more than somebody else at my height would. BMIs are not accurate. Your weight is not a good indicator of your health, and it's really all about how you perceive yourself. If you like what you see in the mirror, forget about everything else. So those are really the things that have helped me the most. I wish there was like huge secret answer or anything, but it's really about the mindset shift. The mindset shift. It's a choice shift to make, and it's not easy. It's a journey. This helps me. I did not actually do this with binge eating disorder, but I've had like other mental issues and stuff, and this has like helped me a lot to look into why exactly I have that issue, like what's going on in my brain. Because at the end of the day, it's not like you were chosen for this life. It's not like that's the truth. It's not like your body actually looks bad, but I mean, you're not seeing what you actually look like in the mirror, and there's a reason. So you have to think about it, like, why is that happening? So look into the scientific reason as to why body dysmorphia happens. Like, look into it. It can make you feel a lot better to know that your brain is malfunctioning, rather than just like, oh my gosh, I'm huge, you know? If you think you have body dysmorphia, look into it, do your research, read on Reddit threads. That helps me so much when I'm trying to solve problems that come like from within the head. It helps me so much to go on Reddit and look at other people who have been suffering from the same thing and see what they've done that has helped them. Get educated on what you're dealing with, because once you're educated on it, and once you clock in and you know what's going on in your brain, you can manipulate it to work in your favor. And that is really, really, really important. And also, over time, if you stop binging too, your stomach gets smaller and you can't handle as much. I couldn't eat a whole box of Pop-Tarts probably now. I could probably eat 2 packages and like one sitting. Yeah, but 3 is like pushing it. And I used to be able to eat, what is it, 8 packages? That's not cool. And also therapy. Therapy is really, honestly, very, very helpful. I haven't had eating disorder therapy, but I have had therapy for other things. Please don't get into the mindset that this is like how life is gonna be and that you can't change your circumstances. Because you made that decision. If you decided that you are stuck in these circumstances and that you can't grow or change, you won't. You won't. But who else told you that? How many people have you seen recover from eating disorders online and stuff? How many people have you seen go from like broke to rich as hell, you know? there's no evidence that anything is impossible besides flying as a human, you know? There's no excuse for that mindset. So if you hear yourself thinking like, this is not something that I can ever change, you just clock yourself. Name your negative thoughts in your head if you want to. Name it to like Teresa, like, and when she says like, girl, you look disgusting, I'm like, Teresa, shut the hell up. I don't know who you think you are, but I look really, really fine today actually, and I don't appreciate your tone, and I will smack you into the next county over if you do that again. Take charge. Take charge, take charge, because it's not just like you're not gonna be like that forever. You're not gonna have to deal with these thoughts forever. It's like building a habit. It takes 21 days to make a habit. So when you get into the habit of shutting down your negative thoughts, eventually they won't start coming out anymore. You just have to continue and stay consistent and do not let them take over. Do not. Don't let yourself have a bad day where you're like, whatever, might as well. Like, oh my gosh, honestly, maybe she is right. You have to stay strong over this. It might help to realize that other people don't see, when they see you, they don't see your biggest flaw. Because these people don't spend their whole life looking at you. They see you for like a few seconds. They don't notice your worst features. It would take a long time of staring, like heck, 20 years. Like the 20 years of staring in the mirror or staring at yourself to really see all of your flaws and notice them, you know? So don't think that everyone else is seeing you and being like, wow, her flies are bigger than my house. Please do not think people look at you and say that. They don't. They look at you and say, oh my gosh, like she has the cutest little nose ever, you know? People see your best feature first. They really do. So that might help you to realize that nobody else besides you notices. That helps me a lot. Everybody is worried about themselves. Everyone is self-conscious, and they're not looking at you for your flaws. They're looking at your best features, and they're worried about how they look and worried about their flaws. We spend our whole lives hating on ourselves. I spent my whole life hating my stomach, but I honestly really appreciate my stomach now because I've eaten so poorly and my body has continued to support me. I've had no major health issues. I don't have diabetes. I have not suffered any consequences yet, and I know it's just because I'm still young and stuff, but I really appreciate my stomach for putting up with what I put it through. I really do. That's amazing. And I read online somewhere that hospice workers said that some people's biggest regrets were not appreciating their bodies when they had them. They spent their whole life hating their legs instead of appreciating the fact that their legs took them everywhere with them and supported them their whole lives, you know? So it's just changing your mindset, changing your perspective, and thinking about the good about our bodies and the good about us and stuff, and not giving in to these thoughts. Because yes, we have thoughts, we do have negative thoughts, but a negative thought doesn't mean it's true. Just because you have this thought doesn't mean anything. Honestly, thoughts don't mean anything. In the grand scheme of things, it's just part of life. It's just like a can of soda. It's just part of life. You don't have to give them any meaning. You do not have to give them any more power than they have. You ignore your thoughts and your feelings, and you just go day by day, living life and doing your best. I promise you will see things differently. You really will. But if you give your thoughts power and you tell them that they are right and you go living by what your thoughts are telling you to do, that's not good. That's when your thoughts do have power and they take over. But if you just sit back and just think of yourself, the highest form of intelligence, basically, like your brain is the highest form of intelligence, and you're just here, perspective, like you're just like, what is it? That's what the word I'm trying to say. Spectating. Just like listen to your thought, let it go through your head, and let it go. Say, okay, you think that I look fat today, but I know I don't actually look fat. So you can go. You don't have to give anything power that you don't want to have power in your life, and especially not in your brain. This is your brain. You can't control your thoughts, but you can make your brain realize that these thoughts aren't necessary and I don't need to be thinking them. Like your brain likes to save energy too, so if it realizes that these thoughts aren't really benefiting you whatsoever, then it's going to stop making you think them eventually, because you cannot tell your subconscious to stop thinking these thoughts because we don't have access to our subconscious. It's like training your brain. It's training your brain to do what's right. And it's also about perspective and appreciating what you do have. So I really hope this video was helpful to you. I really hope it was. And I want you to realize that I don't care what you look like. I know that you are beautiful. You're absolutely beautiful, and you can overcome this. You really can overcome body dysmorphia, and you can appreciate your true body, and it will all be worth it. It's hard, but it's even harder to live your whole life hating yourself. So I want you to try to make the effort to change, okay? I really hope this video was helpful. I really hope it was. And if you made it to this point and you want a brownie point and you want a shout out, comment these emojis comment these emojis right here. Comment these emojis. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to, if I say your name's wrong, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to make this disclaimer every time. I'm just really bad pronouncing things. I don't know why. Pronouncing things. See, like even just then. Shout out to Masu Kamara. I want to give a shout out to Moon's perspective, because she really made me smile last night. She told me I had a good head on my shoulders, girl. That makes me really happy. Thank you so much, because sometimes I'm like, I don't know where, like, what I'm doing or if I'm going in the right direction at all. Thank you, girl, so much. Seriously, thank you. I'm sorry, girl, if I said your name wrong, I'm sorry. Monatija Thomas, girl, but I like talking to you. You're awesome. I like your comments. They make me, like, I feel like we have the same energy. Let me just check my notes. Guys, if you're waiting on your shout and I haven't given it to you, I've been like disorganized a little bit recently, so just let me know. Shout out to Chrissy Angel and Unfiltered Mystic. Okay, guys, I love you so much, and I hope that you have a great day, and I hope that you're ready to take your life back from that stupid body dysmorphia, okay? And also, there's a lot of support you can find too, so don't ever think you're alone. And if you ever want to talk to me, you can DM me on Instagram. I'm here for you. You can DM me, we can talk. And also, if you ever need advice, you can DM me and ask me any questions. I'll try my best. Don't forget to subscribe if this video was helpful. Give it a big thumbs up. It really helps my channel, really supports me. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Miss Quiet. But until next time, which will probably be tomorrow, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you soon, okay? Bye.